Hey Ubisoft, how's it going? Yeah, it wasn't always like this. Once upon a time, I remember I was quite fond of Ubisoft. I remember Rayman, Splinter Cell Chaos Theory, Rainbow Six Vegas 2. These games made up a majority of my early teen years when I thought Mario and Sonic were lame and I needed to be cool, so I played Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our regularly scheduled... Shall we return to our...
I think I should have stuck to Mario Galaxy. That old 2010s Ubisoft intro just hits me like a hard stimulant. But what about now? Oh yeah, the present. Not owning our game seems to have paid off well. It's been a long time coming. I think Skull and Bones really spelt the end. After 2014, they occasionally scored it out of 7 out of 10, which wasn't too bad, but a lot of this is just sanitized. It's pumped full of DLC and microtransactions, and the soul of this company was being sucked out until there was nothing left. Currently, it seems like they only have 2 products that seem to make them money. One is Rainbow Six Siege, and the other is goddammit.
You can't keep getting away with it! You can't keep getting away with it!
This is just a big segue to talk about Far Cry 2. Listen, video making is hard, and sometimes I just want to ramble about a video game that I found really interesting. This is a video about the Malaria game.
Dutch, I went to Africa, got fucking malaria.
Far Cry 2 is what Ubisoft used to be when they actually cared, almost like a time capsule of an era that's deader than X-Defiant, when they were willing to make something different, something good that actually said anything. Far Cry 2 is actually good. Kinda. They made something with a soul, a harsh, oppressive soul that kicks you in the dick and leaves you on the side of the road while giving you malaria for good measure. It's a gritty, tonally realistic game with moral ambiguity oozing out every pore. It's an unforgiving, ruthlessly punishing experience that means to take you to this hostile land, give you a copy of Apocalypse Now with a note attached to it saying Hakuna Matata before the 30th gun truck pulls up in front of you.
Fucking dead!
Quite the stark contrast from Snot Physics McShovel game.
Show me what you got, man!
I got a shovel. This game is so fucking awesome, man. Far Cry 2 is set in an unnamed African country where a civil war is afoot. 2 extremely corrupt rebel armies, the UFLL and APR, happen to both want control of the country after a coup. That's pretty unfortunate because a lot of people are either forced to evacuate or be killed in the crossfire. The conflict continues to be fueled by a mysterious arms dealer selling weapons to both sides known only as the Jackal. You play as a mercenary entering the country with the sole purpose of finding the Jackal and killing him. That's a little hard to do when he's been the UN's hide-and-seek champion for the last couple of years, so it's up to you to do odd jobs for both the factions in hopes to locate and kill the bastard, all the while getting mixed deeper and deeper into an unending conflict fueled by others' mindless search of power while you're left wondering why the hell everybody is talking so damn fast.
You're fired. You know it, and so do I. You had your shot, but now it's over. And since men like you only work for money...
Jesus Christ, dude. Out of all the Far Cry games I've played, being the more modern ones, I'm used to the trope of liberating a map from some single evil entity. Murderous pirates, tyrannical governments, a cult. Hey, you haven't seen anybody running around with a bunch of C4, have you? Yeah, you're not doing that here. Instead, you're taking advantage of a conflict between 2 bad groups you don't care about in order to locate one guy who's doing the exact same thing. This is before clearing outposts and radio towers. Well, I mean, those things are still here, but they serve a different function. The outposts don't permanently clear, they respawn infinitely, so instead of acting as another checkbox on your way to freeing an area, they're an obstacle meant to get in the way of your missions. Far Cry sort of took the idea of liberating against an oppressive force from Far Cry 3 and expanded it going forward, but since this is before that, that idea isn't really there, so it's not a thing. The focus is the missions and the story, and the open world exists to be a place for those to inhabit but not necessarily be a focal point of greater progression. The faction leaders are really boring, and I don't care to go too in depth on them because your interactions mostly consist of talking to them about a mission and then leaving. I have to make a decision here, but like, I don't know who either of these people are. I actually have no idea. Fuck it, this guy. The Jinky Dinkle is almost my most favorite Far Cry villain. He nearly ekes out Voss, but I mean, come on, it's Michael Mando. Look at him. He's adorable.
Shut the fuck up! I like this phone. This is a nice fucking phone.
You only see him a handful of times before the end of the game, including right after the intro cutscene where he makes fun of you for having malaria while reading your file, contracting you to kill him.
I'm the one who decides who lives and who dies. Me. You know, there's a book I read a long time ago. I still think about it every day.
It's from then on that you only really know a lot about him from the tapes scattered around the maps while you explore an amazing open world that doubles as also one of the most frustrating open worlds.
Oh my god, not this shit again.
All I'm saying is if they gave the Jackal a Far Cry 6 DLC, it would have been peak. Trust. The thing is, the Jackal really isn't a villain. An antagonist, sure, but from the beginning he takes pity on you for having malaria and essentially being useless to kill him, but later on he begins to gain admiration for you, continuing to live. As you learn more about him and continue to talk to him, it becomes clearer and clearer he's not really your enemy. To further divulge who he is as a character and really get into the nitty-gritty of why I liked him would require a shit ton of spoilers, and I don't really care to do that. He's cooler than Gus Fring and definitely cooler than the Tard twins. Enough said.
What do you got there? Diamonds?
Far Cry 2 is known for its attempts to integrate realistic elements into its gameplay. For example, you don't have a map. Instead, you hold a physical map in front of your face and rifle through several of them for the different sizes. Driving is definitely more fun since I get to be realistically distracted behind the wheel. Instead of pinging a point and following a trail, you have colored road signs that point in the direction you need to go.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? I'm just trying to get one shot. One stupid shot.
Driving is so much more dangerous with a big piece of paper in front of your face, so it's sometimes best to just pull over, remember your turns, and rely on the signs to guide you. Eventually, I just got good at holding a map in front of my face because, spoilers for the gameplay, 75% of it is driving. Don't get me started on the buses. They're in fixed locations. 9 times out of 10, it's equidistant from your quest start anyway, so it doesn't matter. The world itself is really cool. Africa as a setting is still pretty unique by most modern standards. The setting was initially chosen in order to set it apart from most first-person shooters. While the location itself is fictional, its environments were based on Kenya and its bordering countries. The conflict within it, while not being emulatory of any specific event, instead takes inspiration from various sub-Saharan wars, and primarily mercenary accounts, seeing as that's what you play as and interact with.
No.
The amount of research and attention to detail really pays off. It makes you just feel like a regular Central African.
私は hungry nigga だろ。この bombo clat party.
The environments are so varied and amazing looking. Plenty of times I was just taken away by the stunning open world, even if 90% of the color palette is just shades of brown, like a screwed up color swapped Game Boy. As for stuff to actually do, it's kind of lacking. There's side quests, which boil down to the comm towers, and the shop quests, which see you doing very similar tasks.
Making a delivery? Not anymore.
But the big one is finding cases of your primary currency, blood diamonds, featuring Leonardo DiCaprio. That is a fucking horrible joke. Why did I say that? Using this little blinker, you can find them just around the map. Some of these cases are actually really well hidden, and then others are this fuck-ass train case that took me 10 minutes just to figure out how to get to, with it only being the dumbest solution possible, walking on this tiny fucking pixel on the edge of the goddamn train car. Whatever, I'm happy, I got it. Realism is very important to Far Cry 2. It's represented in its physics, world interactions, its gameplay. So, of course, while you do war crimes, your weapons will jam every 15 seconds. The weapons you find are in horrible condition. Clearly, they have been put through hell. You are probably the 20th person to use this stupid little AK. So, weapons will degrade over time. They'll jam, which forces you to have to take time to clear it, or will just explode in your hand. Quite epic. Ammo is also fairly scarce in the early game, so very often in the middle of gunfight you either have to switch to some other weapon or pick up a dead enemy's gun, which might sound like an annoyance, but this is unironically one of my most favorite parts of the game. I love the quick thinking you need to do and how rapidly you adapt in the middle of a gunfight. The variety of guns in addition just makes for so many interesting scenarios where you need to think fast. The guns jamming all the time, is it really realistic? I mean, with how shitty these guns are, maybe, but probably not. I can tell you right now, these animations certainly aren't very realistic, and this game has a really bad habit of just mirroring guns or getting basic functions wrong. It's, that 1903 puts me in a fucking mood.
Oh my god. That's not how you do that. That's not how you... Oh my god, that's not how you do that.
What the fuck?
That realism Far Cry 2 aims for is one of the primary reasons this game sticks out so much in the greater series. Okay, well, minus the brown.
Spot the Far Cry 2 gameplay.
You are looking.
Enemies are still plagued by that dumb baby Ubisoft AI, but instead of running around empty-headed yelling, "What the fuck is that smell?" in Far Cry 2, they'll take cover from you, shoot where they think you are, and best of all, which I love, is they'll actually have little mini conversations in the middle of a gunfight.
What was that? What? Check it out.
One time I was stealthing around an area and I shot a guy, but I didn't quite kill him yet. And then later on, I heard another guy save him, and then they have a little dialogue between each other after the fact.
Bed rest a bottle of scotch and you'll be fine. Fucker, get me out of nowhere. Look, you was a shit shot.
I don't know who designed this, but it is so much fun. I love little things like that. Far Cry 2 is full of little things like that. When you send an enemy into an injured state, they'll limp around, others will come to assist them.
No, what? That's cool. I mean, he's stuck on a box because it's a Ubisoft game, but that's a cool interaction. I like that.
This stuff is great, and it's a shame that it left the series after this point, because this is great stuff. I love how the enemies are. Now, the physics, the way the fire spreads is just so cool. Everything can be shot and broken. Even wood can be shot through, which enemies will attempt to do to you, which is kind of cool. No, I ended that with an L, and it doesn't... Hey, look what's going on here. That's pretty realistic.
Think fast, chuckle nuts. No way, the backblast caused fire? Oh, that's actually kind of cool.
Far Cry 2 has personality, and yet I have such a hard time liking it. I know what I've said has been fairly positive so far, but this whole game wants to be as immersive as possible, and I'm taken out of it after the 50th car and outpost respawning all the enemies not even 2 minutes after I cleared it out. I understand that this is the primary complaint of the game. This combined with the malaria mechanic and NPCs who manage to have less personality than the Far Cry 3 pirates.
The fuck? Hey, you guys shut the fuck up!
This game has somewhat of a cult following, but I feel that has to do more with the aforementioned complex theming, immersive elements, intricate details, and setting, and not travel.
I swear to God, if I see another one of these gun trucks after this, I swear to fucking God.
Actually playing the game means driving a lot, which means getting shot at outposts you drive past, and cars pulling up on you who are so dedicated to chasing you it would make a Dark Souls 2 enemy blush. Most of the time, they'll shoot out your car to slow it down, so you're just forced to fight them. Sometimes being an outpost that you just cleared a few minutes ago. I'm not kidding when I say, outside of the story missions, this makes up the majority of your game time, and it is as obnoxious as it sounds. It only serves to annoy the player when they attempt to travel anywhere. And yet this is pre-random collectible garbage, Ubisoft, so it's not even like these outposts give you anything, except just occasional resupplies. It's not even like a Far Cry 5 truck that gives you completion credit or XP for destroying them. It's only an annoyance. Best strategy just seems to always be in a gun truck, and then just hop on the machine gun and shoot them out really fast. For enemy gun trucks, they'll probably shoot out your car, so it's best to just take theirs after the fact. Doing that about 60 times, it basically becomes muscle memory. With the majority of gameplay mechanics out of the way, let's talk about Malaria. I can't believe it took me this long to talk about Malaria. I'm so bad at structuring videos. Malaria is a very good plot device, especially when it comes to the theming and eventual conclusion of yours and Jackal's story. Randomly, you'll have fits of symptoms, which blur your vision and make it harder for you to move around. To quell this, you need to take medicine, which is only obtained by performing a quick little fetch quest for some nerd every once in a while. There is no greater impact to this. The fits are completely random. They'll happen in the middle of gunfights or while driving. If you need more medicine, there's nothing greater to the quest to obtain it. It's just something that you need to do. Like a chore. I don't really like this at all, and I think the devs knew this because it is kind of annoying, which is why this is actually a toned down version of the mechanic. It was originally going to be much worse. Hello, editing me here. I can't find a single source for what I just said, so it's probably not true. It doesn't really add much to the gameplay other than to annoy the player and remind you that you do in fact have a terminal illness. As a plot device, it's amazing. As a gameplay mechanic, it's really annoying.
One time is funny, 2 times it's fucking annoying, no?
Hold on, wait. An open world game, known for its realistic world interactions and intricate details, revered for its depressive atmosphere that means to critique and comment on the setting it inhabits, all while following a story that involves a mercenary immigrant who falls into doing work for corrupt local factions in an attempt to get closer to find and kill someone, in the process perpetuating a cycle of violence that ultimately leads to nothing? Also released in 2008. This is just GTA 4. Robin, I have malaria. Come on! I think the best representation for my opinion on Far Cry 2 is seen in probably its most unique system. The buddy system. Far Cry 2 features companion characters that help you every once in a while, but instead of following around all the time and being next to useless...
Herc, my boy. Execute him. You fucking suck.
They'll save you on death and fight alongside you for that one fight. Then they just kind of piss off. It's pretty cool. It's like having an extra life, but there's a natural way of integrating it in a way that also sees you interacting with your companions. But those companions will also fall, so you gotta save them. But unlike more recent games where you hold E and they're fine, in Far Cry 2, you have to use syringes, your main healing item that you only have a limited number of. Sometimes you need more than one. Well, what if you don't have any?
Well, I do have some, but... Bro, this shit's expensive. Nah, I'm sorry, we going for free.
Companions can permanently die, and if they fall, that decision is up to you. I love this system. I think it's great. There's consequences, immersion, hard decisions. It's amazing, but... what do I have to complain about? Well, actually, not a lot. It isn't this thing that I have a problem with, it's the other thing. Your companions will call you up after taking a mission to give you alternate methods of doing said mission. I guess just telepathically knowing exactly what was said to you in the confidence of that room. Basically saying, "Hey bro, that truck you need to destroy is cool, but doing it like that is gay. You should go and do it this other thing, and so you can still destroy the truck and help me fight a bunch of nerds for absolutely no reward."
No, I don't, why would I do that?
Come on, dude, just don't be the pussy.
You just want me to do more of the same quest, which just means more kill guy and destroy thing, which also means more driving. Yeah, no, fuck that.
But you get to gain a relationship with me.
Motherfucker, I don't know you. The only time we interacted was when you were giving your FAL a reach around and trying to hide it from me like I couldn't see it. Or you bouncing around like a Bethesda game because I forgot to put my refresh rate down to 60. Bro, I'm hanging up, dude. You can very easily see how this could be a very cool mechanic, but it has no real effect on anything except being more game to play. There are 2 missions you do for 16 hours. I'm not going to make the already repetitive mission loop even worse. Not to mention, I don't have any loyalty to these guys. They all have the shared personality of a 2x4, and I could care less about them. That extends to the saving system. Maybe I'm a heartless bastard, but like, I didn't care when they died. I never had concern about them as a character. I only kept them around as like an Aku mask. The big problem I have with Far Cry 2 is it just seems like every part of this game has something amazing tied to it, which creates such an amazing atmosphere that means to both immerse you in its harsh, unforgiving environment, while also creating unique gameplay opportunities which reflect that in a story with such powerful theming. But nothing tied to any individual aspect is left unflawed. There's always something that
that brings it down, makes it annoying, or takes you out of the experience instead of further elevating the game. It makes it unnecessarily frustrating, like another car. The combat is the only thing that I don't have too many problems with, but even that, I can see a very casual person being frustrated by their guns jamming all the time. Pussy. There's a reason Far Cry 3 really kicked off the series, being more accessible, less frustrating, while also having a fantastic story with characters I actually care about, and mission variety beyond kill guy and destroy thing. It's a shame, because a lot of great mechanics from Far Cry 2 were unused later on, because in truth, I love the weapons. I love the idea of the buddy system. I love the setting, but for the love of God, I can't drive anywhere without there being another car! By the end of my time with Far Cry 2, I was left with a wide variety of emotions. What I just played was simultaneously one of the most unique games I have ever played, and also one of the most irritating at the same time. But you know what? I was feeling something. Already better than Far Cry 6.
You unzip, you go to the urinal, and you touch yourself.
To cycle back to the beginning, I miss an era of a daring and creative Ubisoft that was willing to push for such a complex game. While I don't feel the most positive about it, I can certainly recognize that it is a creation of passion, with a vision for a unique and impactful experience. I don't get that playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla, or Star Wars Outlaws, or even in the same series, Far Cry 6 or New Dawn, that piece of garbage, that's like nitrogen on my tongue. Far Cry 2 makes me miss a studio that was willing to push for a new experience, that was a risk that had passion, vision, and malaria that would ultimately pay off. The Ubisoft Montreal that made Far Cry 2, I'm convinced is dead. Everyone who has made it has since left the studio, and now most of what they do is just a sword game, which was a similar risk. It's the last big risk Ubisoft ever took, and even that they mean to monetize with scummy practices. The Ubisoft that I played when I was 13 and thought that their games were cool is not the same anymore. Their games aren't cool anymore. They're just lame. I feel like an old man. I'm just complaining into the void. And you know what? Yeah, maybe this was just a big excuse so I get to talk about For Honor again. But you know what? You're not gonna stop me. You don't think I know you? What you're about? What you came here to do? Wake up! I used to be you! In the end, I give Far Cry 2 a Roadkill Zebra out of 10. If you enjoyed, cool. See ya. I already know that there's going to be a few people commenting that I didn't mention that Jackal might be the protagonist of Far Cry 1, so I'm going to put it all the way at the end of the video just to mock you, because it turns out I did say it, you just didn't watch all the way to the end of the video, so ha! Take that, you son of a bitch!